We love the tea.
Yeah, I've been out of town, man, so I couldn't really get up here. I've been on the sideline just listening, you know.
By the way, y'all, my name is Panocchio, like Pan African Panocchio.
Yeah,
Yeah,
tell them who you got that name from. How about that?
I think I got it from you. Talking to who are you talking to?
I
Oh
was
five.
talking to oh 05.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
there go Layla. Okay, what's up, Layla? Say something.
What made you decide to say hi to me?
Oh Lord, I
Yeah.
forgot.
I is snappy, boy.
Hello, left.
But Patolo, yeah, Patolo could have came a little. Hey, man, bro, all you got to do is wait till Rashad done, bro, and then pull up your bro. It's simple as that. Source for source. That's all we got to do.
I mean,
Oh
she
yeah.
spoke in the chat.
Fuck
She gonna
that,
say
man.
something while she's up here.
Man,
That's what
we
I'm
ain't answering
saying.
no questions no more. We asking questions now. Shit.
Hey,
Let's ask the
respectfully,
questions.
can't none of those Pan Africans go source for source with any of us.
Facts. Facts.
No, all they do now,
We can't go
is
source to source and
they
laugh at.
they just stay in their little circles, man, and bounce stuff off each other. It's pointless at this point, man.
And really, because they ain't got no goddamn history over
They
there in
they
that
too busy
continent
up
that
there
don't
trying to
trace
make
back over
everybody
here.
African.
Yeah, and
That's
I
all
don't
they trying
understand that
to
because
do.
you really have no business coming over here. And if you really if you really want to come over here and try to prove that we all came from there, then it shouldn't be no divide, in my opinion, because you talking to like y'all want to talk down on us.
With me, it would be a divide because how a motherfucker can't tell us if they got anybody missing off their street, but yet they gonna claim us.
Yeah, that's
Every
what I'm
one of them
saying.
saying
That's what I'm
Africans,
saying.
every last one of them saying Africans or the Africans. I'm just saying the Africans, not the pan Africans. We know the pan boo boos, they lost anyway. But every last one of those Africans, if you ask them who's missing off the street, so if that's what you want to do, you want to find those who are missing. They say they have nobody missing. Then why are you over here trying to make somebody your people if you got nobody? I mean, put
Yeah,
yourself on
if
mute.
we
It's
if
a lot of noise. It's a lot of noise.
it's me.
Oh, okay. I mean, how you gonna be claiming people? Ain't no fucking God's way around this motherfucker. We need to know bloodline. We ain't doing no in God's way. This is shit they taught us in goddamn it in Sunday school. Ain't none of that no more. We need to know who's kin to us, and that's how we gonna start building our nation by knowing our bloodline. This
Right.
dumbass shit that they doing.
Nigerians are literally the most, you know what I'm saying, foreigners that are in the United States. How come none of them are over there looking for their family?
Facts. They ain't gonna look for them.
And the Native Americans always talking about that Indian slavery didn't last long. What's up, Kool Fox? Where the hell you been? Um,
Oh, we got Mello in the chat. He said, "Who lied to us?" No, who told y'all to lie that y'all was swimming and pissing shit for damn 3 months and
Mello is
no
he
food or
look like
water?
he's white tea. But Indian slavery and these people were in the 1700s, these people was being bought and sold and shipped across the Americas. Indian slavery didn't end until the 1800s. So I'm thinking about going in on Indian slavery because I haven't really been too much seeing people go in on Indian slavery because everybody be talking about we weren't slaves. But I mean, I think we should take that information and milk it. So we can't milk it no more because like the Native Americans said, our ancestors weren't slave. Well, nigga, who is these Indians that was fucking slaves? Who are these Indians? Like for instance, this right here. Hold on.
Let's put our paperwork up against your fucking DNA. That traces me directly into my bloodline. I just added another relative just a few seconds ago. She was born 1500 to 1560.
But
I'm still adding people.
even OG, like, look, they not even intelligent enough to get past the damn DNA. I said, all right, DNA connect you to your cousins. Where are all your cousins? Where are your cousins located? He was like, oh, they're all over here. So how would you make it make sense?
Yeah.
If all your people over here and they telling you Nigerian, like Rashad say, somebody's lying.
Yeah. That sounds like they just moving you around from a landmass. They know where you're from, but they just gonna take your mind to another land. Your body's here with me, but your mind is on the other side of town. Fucking dumbass niggas.
Okay, let me see if I can size this real quick. Let me see.
Yo, let me Louis one them there.
And Kool Fox, I ain't see you in a minute.
What's good?
Hello, Kool Fox. You been okay? I was just thinking about you the other day.
I was too. Like, man, I ain't see him up here kicking game in a minute.
So if they wanna talk about people, right? Let's go into congressional record. Let's go into the laws. Let's go into this YT guys documentation for them. Let me go in there for them. I'm gonna bring them something where they can't dispute. Hold on a second. Let me find something for them right here.
I just added a nigga to my tree with the last name Gucci. What the hell?
I had to go make sure I had Leila blocked everywhere. I don't know who she is.
Yeah, who is that? She acting weird red. I dropped her. Okay, Kool Fox, let me go real quick and then I'm gonna let you go after this. I ain't gonna be long. Okay, so in the 1600s, let's see. King Philip's War in the mid 1670s, which was fought to protect English colonists, encroaching influence and forced labor on Native Americans. This was the 1600s. Then you go into the 1700s. They be like Indian slavery didn't last long. Nigga, well, who was these Indians being forced to work? Who the fuck was these people? Then you go into, let me see. Then you go into the 1700s. As a result of 3 expeditions sent by South Carolina from 1702 to 1708 against the Yamasee, Apache, Tamaki of northern Florida, they were carried back to Charleston for sale as slaves. This was in the 1700s. If your people didn't go through Indian slavery that long, who in the fuck are these Yamasees, these Tamakus, these Apacheans? Who were these slaves? Almost the entire population of 7 towns in all. Do you know how many people that is? Some 1,400 persons. The captives taken in 1715 when the Yamasee and Creek Indians made a foray upon the South Carolina frontier were sold as what? Here we go again. Slaves. So y'all gonna have to prove to me. Now this is just the 1700s. Don't make me go into the 1800s where I know y'all finding y'all people in the 1800s. They're still being labeled as slaves in the early 1800s. I need to see some documents of your people being labeled as slaves in the early 1800s, late 1700s.
African
I got
on the
government documents.
plantation.
I got government documents that said the Yamasee and Creek are Negroes.
Facts. Me too. I got documents saying
another
that the
question.
Yamasee are Moors.
Hey, I got another question real quick too. So look, so you know how they said that the reason that the so-called native slavery stopped is because they were all getting sick and unalivened because they were weak, right? So how did the African so-called slaves not get sick the same way? And the reason I'm asking is because Africans don't have some kind of super genetics where they don't get sick, because Africa is known as the most infectious continent on the face of the earth. So that means they're always sick. So if they're always sick, how were they not overwhelmed by the European diseases back then, but everybody else was?
Coming off the bottom of a boat for education and entertainment purposes, only with feces and urine on the bottom of that mug.
That was a canoe. That's a canoe with a barbecue grill at the bottom of it, huh?
I'm not doing you today, 504. You said they was roasting shit balls and shit, having a cookout down there.
What? Barbecue shit burritos. Man, I'm not gonna do this.
Indian fair. Let me see what this is right here.
And this is crazy.
So-called
Like,
dirt crap.
if you believe that shit, like, bro, if y'all believe that, like, what they say, bless your heart. That's crazy. I didn't believe it. I didn't believe it when they tried to teach me in school. Like the day they taught me that shit, I went right to my granny. Like, Mama, we came from Africa. Like, she lightweight cussed me out. We ain't come from no damn Africa. Who told you that? I said, I'm from North Carolina. Damn Africa. Like that shit was not believable ever.
Man, for a body brother, it's like, how can you be from the youngest continent on the face of this earth? How can all life start somewhere where you the baby?
Because the Caucasian trying to make you the youngest on the continent and make all them and their motherfucking offsprings the oldest. That's where they taking over the indigenous culture.
Now I'm finna read this one more thing, and then you go, Kool Fox. The English colonists weren't the only ones to use the labor of enslaved. There we go again with that word, motherfuckers. Enslaved indigenous people. Of course, the Spanish were almost totally dependent on Indian labor in most of their colonies. Where the fuck are the Africans? If the English are using mostly but Indians, the Spanish are using mostly Indians, where the fuck the Africans at? And what would be the purpose of the Africans to bring Africans in if they already enslaving the niggas that's already here? Enslaving Native Americans became one of the primary ways to expand the economy for colonists in South Carolina and to lessen extent in North Carolina, Virginia, and Louisiana. From 1670 to 1720, that's damn near 100 years. So if they enslaving the indigenous people already for damn near 100 years, when did the Africans come in? More Indians were shipped out of Charleston, South Carolina, than Africans were imported as slaves. And Charleston was a major port for bringing in Africans. So if Charleston was a major port, right? If Charleston was a major port, but they are bringing and shipping more Indians than they're bringing Africans in the African major port, then what the fuck does that tell you?
You know what happened, Pen? The Africans was on recess.
And know what make it even more bad? They banned international slavery in 1809. So y'all trying to tell us y'all about 300,000 Africans over here in less than 80 years? Come
Child.
on now.
From a bunch of motherfuckers that ain't never sailed a day in their life.
And don't know the waters nor the land like that.
Exactly.
So in the book of Congress, in the legislative journals, in the pages, in the books that they have, the Congress book that they have. I'm just giving you a paper right now, but before I had the book up, because I took a picture of the book and I was showing a picture of the book before, but it was small, so I'm giving you from the website now. It stipulates that in the city of Philadelphia, there exists the Moorish American Society made up of Moors who were found where? Here. They were found here. In other words, they came in, they saw them. And this is the United States. They're discussing their shit. Now let's leave from that and let's go to another document. This is 1866 Congressional Globe. This is what they used to call before Congressional Globe, in where they're discussing how and when they discussed when they're gonna change what they're gonna do with the Negroes. This discussion, I gotta skip a few pages. This discussion, I gotta skip a few pages. They have this majority of them, according to him. The person that making the speech at this point, because that's what they used to do. They used to write this speech down and have all of those documentation ready, and they were doing that only because they had a contract with the Moors. Why? Because this land is not theirs. This land is ours, and the empire gave them a contract in which they have to fulfill and not disturb the people, them rights. So while the empire give them the contract to not disturb the people, them rights, which they try to steal their land, and the truth, what you guys need to know beyond of this is that United States does not have any power to give them sovereignty other than the people that have treaties with them. So that means a sovereign power have to give United States that power. Why? Because United States has relinquished its sovereign power when it separated itself from the Queen. That's a European government. They separate themselves from the Queen, so they need to establish themselves back. And the Moors was the first one that gave them that sovereignty, and that through that treaty of peace and friendship, what they call it, but it's called Treaty of Marrakesh. Over the years, they go behind their back and do things like this. They have a discussion that said, if there is anything in which the American people are troubled, and if there's anything in which the American statesman is perplexed and vexed, is what to do with the Negroes, right? So they're telling you right here what they're gonna do with the Negroes. They're going to start incorporating the Negroes to become their citizen. If you read all of this, I'm not going to go through all of that. If you read all of this, it's going to tell you that they're going to incorporate the Negroes to become the citizens. And the Negroes that they're talking about become their citizens is the slave Negroes. That's the Africans, which we all are talking about right now. When they're going to make the Africans their citizens, they also incorporated us, which is a violation of laws and a break of the treaties. If you guys know what I'm saying, that means anytime they make a judgment against you according to the laws, it's a fraudulent claim. You have to invoke the treaties and tell them that I gotta uphold that treaties. And if you had not killed one of their citizens, there's nothing they can bring against you as according to their charge. And they gotta use various treaties which they have to go through to prove that they can make you a subject unto them. But if you read this going on all around, they said right here, here it goes. Here hitherto said that the non-script in the hereto of his status. They want to know the man's status. He has no status. That means he's a slave. These are the slaves that they're talking about. He was unbright, ambiguous. He is both man and thing. He was 3/5 of a person for the representation, and he was a thing in commerce. That means they're talking about slave right there. But who are the Moors? Who are the people here that gave them that sovereignty? So it's two different type of people here, guys. So what I'm saying is this. The people that was here before are not labeled as Africans or slaves. But today's date, the reason why they can't call you guys citizens unless you declare to be so is because they have a treaty that tell them that they can't do that. And that's in congressional record. Again, one more congressional book. But I digress. So if you guys keep saying that, oh yes, we are all from Africa. No, we are not. We are not all from Africa. We are all here. We sit down here. We be here before the Africans. We are Americans. We are the one who established that fucking United States corporation. And after we establish that corporation usurp authority and merge us through ignorance, and we become their citizens. But if we relinquish that citizenship, they owe us a duty to give us back every single shit that they took from us, even our lands. Let me show you another case law. Let me show you another case law so you can see this. This is a case that was being won.
And then Kool Fox, let me ask you. So what it sounds like too, as you was going over that, like we always say, they wasn't really bringing too many Africans over here, right?
There's not. They were bringing a lot of people here. They were, but they're also. It's not necessarily African. They were going over other areas in the plains of America, stealing people kids and saying that they're Africans, because there's no distinction. There's no distinction other than because at the time they couldn't translate different language. All they have to do is just bring them from a different area and tell them they brought them over here. That's why you can look at the slave trade ships that I used to show back in the days when I used to show you guys. That's all they were doing. It was just traveling down back in South America, kidnap and grab whoever they can and bring them back over to the North America, and then label them as Africans and African slaves. Now this is a court case that was won. These are the Turner families, right? These are the Turner family, and they had stipulating that, hey, we are not black, man. We are not an American. We are Moors, and you stole our land. And we need to take charge of our land. It said this court case is United States versus the years of Henry Turner case, United States Appellate Court. 1850 was the appeal, and earlier the case in when the years of Henry Turner called. The years of Turner versus the United States in 1848. In other words, on June 6, 1848, the Supreme Court decision read, Theodore McCloud, judge, declared that the United States does not own the land of the ancient mound builders of North America, much more than 1 million square miles of land. Moors are the title holder. So right now, everything that you see from Missouri, all of those places, they're not owned by them. They're using a thing called extraterritorial jurisdiction, in which they're gonna use to make judgment over you guys. And when they use those extraterritorial jurisdiction, it's only by acceptance. If you accept that term, you can always tell them that they don't have no jurisdiction and they can't go ahead and establish no court for you. And if you look at the people that belong in these areas, see their names. See what they're calling them? These are the tribes. All right. Also, the currently declared that the lawful landholder and the years of Henry Turner. Now, if these people are landholder, right, or landowner, how the fuck they came from Africa? It's on slave ship. I rest my case.
I brought that out, and I didn't have no music on my shit or nothing, but they banned the sound, and I went over who has the most heirs property, and Rashad was talking about it early. How are you the heirs to the land, but you was brought over here as a foreigner? Like, make it make sense.
Fact. That's a gem. That is so true. How the fuck you gonna be an heir to the land, but you a foreigner? You can't be both. That is facts.
How did we get all this
Better
land?
yet, which slave owner giving them 1 million square mile of land? Which slave owner they're gonna give that? Give that to slaves.
And I was talking to my mom
Go
yesterday,
ahead.
like,
So
no, y'all know I'm quick. So I was talking to my mom yesterday, and they always say like, "Oh, y'all couldn't read," and it was illegal for us to read, but you don't make some shit illegal that motherfuckers ain't already doing. You know what I'm saying? If motherfuckers ain't stealing, you ain't, you know what I'm saying? You ain't gonna make stealing illegal if motherfuckers ain't stealing. You know what I'm saying? So if motherfuckers ain't reading, you ain't gonna make it illegal.
The
Motherfuckers
reason
was
why it
reading,
was
it was
illegal,
well
let me
versed.
explain the reason why it was illegal, my brother. They make it just like today's day. They say, oh, you cannot teach laws. The same thing. Why? Because there's a cunningness in their craft. There's a cunningness in their craft. Because you see, if you read that congressional document, back in the days, only thing it was is just a declaration. It cannot be an enactment. The reason why it cannot be an enactment, they have a treaty of Algarves. On the 15th chapter of the treaty, it stipulates that the Moors can never be losing their nationality unless the Moroccan government has given that authority. So in other words, you have to go to the emperor of Morocco and say, hey, I want to relinquish my nationality and be a United States citizen. And then he would have to grant it. And then after he granted, he would issue some wealth or some land or something that of the sort. Because why? majority of the Moors was his children and his grandchildren, because he had over
But see, that's what
800 children.
Sosa's saying. We must have had this knowledge and was reading this shit, because why would you make a law for us not to read if we weren't already reading?
Right. So we were knowledgeable. We have many knowledge, but we just did not know English because it wasn't our knowledge. It wasn't our language. It was a different language. Just like right now, if I start speaking, my rascal, Jamaican language, you guys probably wouldn't know it as much as you should know it. But after a while, over time and years of many people saying it, then you start learning it, right? Now, if you read that goddamn congressional document, it's just simply a declaration, and it put in the 14th Amendment. It was the day when they're making the 14th Amendment. It's called Civil Rights Act of 1886. That Civil Rights Act of 1886, if you read it, it stipulates that, hey, all people are born here in the United States are citizens that does not have ties to Indian nation. Just think about that for a second. If they does not have ties, that means they're talking about black people in general, that does not have a tribe or a nation. That means somebody is saying that Indians was fucking here before the Africans that they brought over here. Because they're tied to a nation, so they can't take them out of their nation that they're already tied to. The stipulation and the stipulation of people mind is just because they're just saying, oh, you're black and that's it. And if you're black and you accept the term black, like your IDs right now, if you look at it, only thing they want to use is your IDs. So when they go get pulled over for a car, all you have to declare to them in the court and say, hey man, you don't have no jurisdiction. They say, hey, you have jurisdiction. I say, you can't hold me according to your fraudulent documentation that you give me to drive around with. And they say, why? They say, because I'm not about a motherfucking black man. I'm a Moor. And you guys, no matter what we do, you would not put our name the way it is on the documentation because you wanna pilgrim us. You're a thief. They have to dismiss the case. Why? Because the Moors has a treaty which tell them in the 14th article that you must respect the Moors when they travel through the ports, and the Moors would respect you when they travel through their ports. And the treaties is the only thing that keep the United States to be functionable here in America. In every single state where you can see right now, any state that you see right now, they have a treaty with that nation. If they break that treaty and the nation decided to say, hey, I don't want you to fucking run nothing here anymore, they have to relinquish it, just like what they did in 1956. In 1956, they relinquished their jurisdiction in September 15, and you guys got to know that. And this is the point where I'm trying to make. Every single thing that you guys are seeing right now is ours. They're just thieves. They're robbers. They're liars. Just like they manipulate some of those guys to tell you, oh, you're African. No, you ain't no fucking African.
Hey,
Suck
Chris,
it.